that your end result, that is fractional equation modeling, would be better, right? So we will be doing the regression next, and we will see how it helps you improve your results for even CFA. If you want, you can save it. When you close, just click yes and it will be saved. Alright. Now, for the time being, we will close the model, CFA model, because I will be working on first the regression. Next is regression. But before I go on to regression, I will show you something. And that is, what are the assumptions of regression? Okay, now these are some of the assumptions of linear regression. Okay, and majority of the time we will be applying linear regression. That means we need to get data for these assumptions. Look at the first one, linear functional form. That means relationship between variables should be linear. Relationship between variables should be linear. Does not detect curvilinear relationships. Now this is tested using curve fitting. Now curve fitting is a part of your regression. It can be done in the under regression itself separately. Okay, so we will see how curve fitting is carried out. And if this is not there, you can convert your data, because regression, the regression coefficient is not affected if you square the values, you take the square root of the values or any of the variables. So that means if the functional relationship is that y is equal to x square, that means you can take square root of the x and then you would find the relationship you take the square of the x and you find the relationship would become linear. Okay? If you look at the relationship between y and x, it will not be linear. But if you take square of x and then use the relationship, you find the relationship would be linear. Same may be log. Okay, y is equal to log x. In that case, you need to take the log of x and then see the relationship. So that means you can carry out, you can transform the data to ensure that the relationship is linear, and your, mind you, your R square, that is coefficient of regression, will not be changed. You can't add and subtract anything. You will multiply, divide, take square root, square, that, and take cube root, it will not change R square, and therefore we can do it. Right, so we will see how linear, if linear function form is not there, how to ensure that it comes, and if it is there, then we can use it. Independent observations. Now that means observations for what it means is that observations from one person should not be affected by the other. Okay? Now the response on one variable or element of a variable are not influenced by the response on other variables or elements. Like in this case, we had 3-4 variables, right? So response on, at times, the respondents get sensitized. Okay? If they are giving some response on one variable, they would like to give a rational response to the other variable. And in that case, actually if the response on one variable can influence the response on other variables. So best way of ensuring this, that it doesn't happen, is that the questionnaire can be combined for all the variables. Okay, don't develop a separate questionnaire for each of the variables. And you just divide the questionnaire by putting section A, section B, section C, section D, so that the respondent doesn't know what is being measured by section A, what is being measured by section B, what is being measured by section C, and what is being measured by the section D, so that response on one part of your study does not influence the response on the other part. So that can be done through administration during data collection time. Okay? So ensure through questionnaire design and care taken while collecting data. And why care taken while collecting data? Because person who is collecting data that person should not influence. Okay, even that, if there are questions asked, suppose if his data is collected through interview. So while carrying out interview, the data collection person can influence. So that should also be avoided. The next is normality of the residuals, or we call it errors. How do errors come in regression? In regression we find this is the y line, this is y, this is x, and y is equal to a plus bx. Now this part is a and this is b. Okay? Y is equal to a plus bx plus error, of course, plus the error. From where this error comes? It comes because when you are fitting this line, you find values would be there. Some responses would be up, some responses would be lower than this, some will be on line also. Okay? So these are the real responses, and we have fitted a curve. Okay? This is the regression line, a linear regression line. Now, the distance between this fitted line and the actual value is called error. Okay? These are the errors. So the third assumption is that these errors should be normally distributed. We also call them residuals. You don't see residuals, we see errors. Okay? So, but when you calculate, residuals are calculated. Okay? So calculated residuals can be saved, and you can test them for normality. Okay? And there will be some graphs generated while carrying out regression. You can also use those graphs to indicate normality. Third, fourth assumption. Okay? Equality of variance of the errors. Homogeneity of residual variance. That can be done through scatter plot. Homogeneity of variance of the errors. And we do it through scatter plots. Scatter plot is again part of regression output. Okay? So we will be able to see that. No autocorrelation of the errors. That the errors are not autocorrelated. Actually, this is more common to time series data. Autocorrelation is more common to time series data. But even when you are collecting data, you find that some autocorrelation is always there. Now that autocorrelation is tested using Durbin-Watson test. That you carry out Durbin-Watson test, and the values should be 2 plus and minus 1. That means it should vary between 1 to 3. Durbin-Watson value should vary between 1 to 3, 4. No, 2 indicates 0 autocorrelation. Okay, so therefore, as close the Durbin-Watson is to 2, it shows low autocorrelation or no autocorrelation. No outlier distortion. That means, and here we are not talking about the outlier of the variables, outlier of residuals. That residual outlier should not distort your results. Check for outliers using explore under descriptive analysis in SPSS. That can be done, but of the residuals. Okay, and it is part of regression output also. Okay, this is part of the regression output also, so you don't you do not need to separately test. Okay, we will do that. Zero sum of errors. We are using sum of square, so that would automatically minimize make it 0. Zero sum of errors is least squared. Our method used for regression is least squared, and least squared will automatically result to zero sum of errors. Okay, representative sample and proper specification of the model. That is representative sample. Your sample size should be large enough for the data to be normally distributed. 1. 2 is that while developing or while establishing your model, like say, if I am talking about customer loyalty, and if I take only customer satisfaction and its effect on, now this is more common for multiple regression. This is more important for multiple regression. Now suppose I am taking two independent variables, customer satisfaction and say service quality. customer satisfaction and service quality affecting your customer loyalty. Are these the only two variables that affect customer loyalty? Brand image is there, and that has strong effect on customer loyalty. So, if we have omitted one of these variables, or we have taken customer satisfaction and brand image and left the service quality, so we have again left a important component. So your model fit would be bad. Okay, it will give you results, would be correct, but then it will not result into complete model. Okay, so multiple regression, you have to be careful about that. No multicollinearity. That means the independent variables should not be related. Like say if there are multiple independent variables, if there are 2 or 3 independent variables, they should not have high correlation among them. 0.7 or higher is considered very high, and it is tested using 1 divided by 1 minus r square, and we call it VIF. We call it VIF. Okay, 1 divided by 1 minus r square is the formula used to calculate VIF. So we are testing it using VIF, and the value of VIF should be between 1 and 10. What it means is that multicollinearity to a certain extent is accepted, but your VIF values should not go beyond 10. Then multicollinearity becomes unacceptable. Multicollinearity actually inflates your R square. Okay, it increases your regression coefficient. So your regression coefficient till the time VIF is up to 10 is it changes, but the changes are so small that you can ignore. But as soon as it goes beyond 10, the changes become very significant. Alright, so these are some of the assumptions of regression, and we need to ensure that these assumptions are tested. Some of them, 2 of them last 2 were only for multiple regression, and for remaining 7 are applicable to both. Okay, simple and multiple regressions. So we will be seeing now how to apply regression and how to test data for suitability of data for regression. We will be moving. Go to data RNW. You can take healthcare only. Healthcare data. Use this. We are going to apply regression. Regression will be applied on summated scores. Regression is applied on summated scores, and we have sheet 1, sheet 3. Sheet 3 has summated scores on all the 4 variables that I have used for study. Now before we go ahead, I will just show you the model that we used, so that while applying the regression, multiple regression and SEM, we will keep that in mind. Last one was patient loyalty, and all these customer is patient. Okay, and we have seen that this is affected by patient satisfaction, or I have put that in customer satisfaction, patient satisfaction, and we have 2, service quality and trust. The service quality also affecting your trust, and your trust patient satisfaction and service quality, all three affecting your patient quality. Okay, this was the model that we had used. Okay, patient satisfaction, trust, service quality, patient loyalty. Right, so while applying regression, we will see how this is tested. Initially, because we will be applying both the simple regression and multiple, we will transfer all the data on all the 4 variables. So copy data on all the 4 variables. Don't copy the titles. We will have to put those titles again. Alright, first variable is class. Second variable is service quality. And don't leave any gaps. Third is customer satisfaction. Cust, SAT. And last one, loyalty. Okay? Give names to your factors and you find, if you go to variable view, all are scales. Data is collected in interval scale, so it is okay. Come to data view. You can only analyze data which is when the data is in data view, when the screen is in data view. Go to analyze. Go to regression. Let us first test the data for linearity, whether the relationship is linear. Okay, go to curve estimation. First is the service. Say first we are doing satisfaction. Where is satisfaction? Customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is say dependent and trust. Say independent variable is say service quality. Service quality is the independent variable and dependent is customer satisfaction. In curve fitting, you can only take 2 variables at a time. One dependent and one independent. Dependents you can take even more, but not independent. Now, there are 10 options. Leave the logistic, it requires upper bound, we need to calculate, so forget it. All others you can use. Curve estimation. Okay? Go to OK. Display ANOVA table. Okay. Display ANOVA table. Alright. Start from here. You find these are the options that you have selected. Okay. That is linear, log, inverse, cubic, quadratic, compound, power, S, growth, exponential. Okay. And service quality is the independent variable. And customer satisfaction is the dependent variable. Alright. Now look at the first one. You need to prepare a summary. R square and F have to be written for each of the curves. Or we call it relationship. R square and F. Linear. What is R square? See from here. 0.711. And F?
197.191.
This 1978.191. Okay, this is how you put all the curves and develop a summary so that you can compare. Now let's see. Each data you find would be fitting on more than one curve, because if you look at the R, the significance of F, now F is significant, indicating that it has a good fit. So linear has a good fit. Similarly, you find almost all the curves will have good fit, but which is the best fit? You have to look at that. Okay? After the linear growth, R square is 0.683. It is smaller than linear. I am going to compare all of them only with linear. Okay? Because I am interested in using linear. 0.683 and F is 855. Both are smaller than the linear. Next, inverse 0.621 and 6.650. Smaller. Quadratic 0.713. 711. It is almost equal. And 492 is smaller. So F is smaller, R is slightly larger. So they are equal. Cubic 714 and 328. Again, similar situation. Compound 0.716 and 1002. Now this compound is having your best fit in this case. Power 716 and 1001. Compound and power would give you the same generally. S 678 and this is okay. Linear is better than this. Growth also you find similar to power. Okay, 716 and 1002F. Exponential 715 and 1002. Right. So now you find that 2-3 curves are better than, and all these curves indicate that y is x to the power n. Y is equal to x to the power n. Okay? Either the S, growth, exponential. Okay? So therefore, you need to have y is equal to e to this y is equal to x to the power n, a plus x to the power n. Now that means we need to take either a square root or cube root of x, and then we can make it linear. The relationship would be, or we can take cube, not square root or cube root, square or cube of x, and then it will become linear. Okay? That means if I take square of which was the service quality now? If I take square of that, this is BA. A2 multiplied by B2.
This is trust. No, this is trust.
B2. All right, I will copy this also. make it service quality 2, so indicating square. Alright, go to analyze, go to curve fitting, linear curve estimation, and same. Now this service quality will go back, and service quality 2 would come in, and see. We will know whether this will improve or it will not. You find R square is still 0.707 and F is 958, log 683, inverse 536, quadratic 711, 713 cubic. R square will not change. It is supposed to be same, no? Because square करके this was compound. Compound has come down. Power is remaining same. S has also come down. So you find that it is now closer, this linear edge, it is more closer to linearity now than it was. But it is still not linear. That means it might be power 3, cube of x. So you can try that, but then this is for, see, the change or the fitting, the differences are very, very little. So you can ignore these. If there are minor differences between the linear curve and the other curves, you can even ignore. Because even if you go to the cube, you might find still some of the other curves becoming better than linear. Okay, it is not necessary that by taking a cube, linear would become better. So, if you find that all the curves are getting approximately same values, then if the curve is significant, you can apply that. Alright, so we found that since the values are almost similar, you can apply linear. Don't save, and the output you can remove because it will clutter your regression output otherwise. Go to analyze, go to regression, apply linear. Now we are applying. Okay, apply linear regression. Now dependent variable say we are still doing for customer satisfaction. Dependent is customer satisfaction and independent is, right now we are applying simple linear regression. So we are having only one independent variable, service quality. Now, no. See, we found that it did not make too much of a difference. What it did was that it reduced the fitting on the other curves, but it did not improve the fitting on linear. And some curves are still nearer or better, slightly better than linear. So since it did not improve as much as we wanted, we will use the normal. That we would have used that. Now, look at the method. Now this will come into play when you have multiple regression. At this moment it will not be useful. Because you can take method, enter means all the independents should be entered together. Now it's only one, so there is no sequence required. Then stepwise, then one by one they can be entered. Remove, then you enter all together, then remove one by one, and so on. Right? So therefore, at this moment we will not be using it. So therefore, go to first option statistics. Statistics. Under statistics, model fit and estimates are essential. You can take R square change also. Collinearity diagnosis, Durbin-Watson, and case-wise diagnostics. Why case-wise diagnostics? To identify outliers. Case-wise diagnostics are used for identifying outliers. So we will do that. Okay. If you want part and parcel correlations also can be calculated, they can help you evaluate regression better. You can use them. Plots. Under plots, Z residuals and Z predicted. So Z residuals would come in X and Z predicted will come in Y. predicted would come in X. Sorry, Z predicted would come in X and Z residuals would come in Y. Yeah. And histogram the normal probability plot both. And we will need only one graph. One option. That would produce 4 graphs. Save. We need to save standardized values. Okay. First, I want to the save. First, let us select the options for save. I will come back to graph. Okay? We are saving standardized residuals so that we can test them for normality. Okay? We will later on test them for normality. You can also check Cook's distance for identifying outliers. Enough. You don't need anything else. I will go back to floats. You need to have Z predicted on X and Z residual on Y. Z predicted and Z residual. These are the two that need they need to be plotted. Okay? Z trad and Z residual. Continue. Options. Under options, entry 0.05, 0.1 is correct. Include constant in equation, yes we want, and exclude cases listwise is okay. So we don't need to change anything. Alright, so we have set. There is one more option called bootstrap. Now bootstrap is a method of simulation and it will simulate number of times that you want and it will make your results robust. Right now, for beginners, let's leave it. Okay, we will come back to this later. Okay. Regression. Service quality is the independent variable and customer satisfaction is the dependent variable. Method used is enter. Now, when you are trying to evaluate relationship between two variables, that means simple linear regression. The regression coefficient would be R squared. For multiple regression, it will be adjusted R squared. Okay, you need to keep that in mind. So, and since it was a simple regression, we will be using R squared. Look at the Durbin-Watson value is 1.619, indicating that autocorrelation is not a problem. In this data, autocorrelation is not a problem because between 1 and 3, Durbin-Watson values indicate autocorrelation is within limit. Next, go to ANOVA table. ANOVA F value is 978.191, significant at 0% level of significance. That means this F is significant. Now this ANOVA is checking your complete model fit. Whether your whole model has good fit, and it indicates because F is significant, it indicates that your model is showing good fit. Okay? Now, for a simple linear regression, F and T, later on we will test the standardized coefficient of regression, that is beta. Now and that will be tested using T. They will give you same results. Okay? Because the variables are, the T is used for evaluating individual variables, whereas F is used for evaluating all the variables together. So in simple linear regression, since we have only one independent variable, the F result and T results will be similar. Okay, otherwise they can give you different results. Okay. Third table that you need to interpret is the coefficient table. Please look at the coefficient table. Right? You can use that for developing your regression equation. Your regression equation, as I stated earlier, y is equal to a plus bx plus error. Now, what is a? A is under b in front of constant 11.064. 11.064. And what is y? Y is customer satisfaction. So that means customer satisfaction is equal to Customer satisfaction is equal to $11.064 plus B under non-standardized and standardized, that is under B, 0.995 multiplied by service quality plus the error. Okay, this would be the regression line. Regression line or predicted regression line will be 11.064 plus 0.995 plus multiplied by service quality plus sigma. That means if you improve service quality by 1 unit, your customer satisfaction would be improved by 0.995. That means almost 1. That means if you improve service quality by 1, customer satisfaction also would improve by 1. That means they are in direct sync. Customer satisfaction and the service quality are in direct sync. So if you want better customer satisfaction, improve your service quality. That's one part. Look at the second part, that is beta. Beta is standardized regression coefficient. It is this value standardized. Okay? This value under B is standardized here under beta. Value is 0.843. Now this is tested using t-test. Okay? Don't look at the upper t because upper t is related to constant. You don't need to test the constant. So t value is 31.276. Significant at 0% level of significance, indicating that this beta, indicating that the regression coefficient, standardized regression coefficient is significant. That means the contribution of service quality to customer satisfaction is significant. Okay? You not only look at the coefficients, you need to also test whether these coefficients are significant. So that is what this is used for hypothesis testing, whether your regression coefficient is significant or not. So T is indicating that your regression coefficient is significant. Now look at the VIF values. It must be 1 because there is only a single variable. So it cannot be related to anything else. So therefore VIF is and minimum is 1. So VIF is the minimum value. As soon as you add variables, you would find that it will increase. Now go to graphs. This is the first one, indicating your normal distribution, and it is checking the residuals, whether residuals are normally distributed. If you look at this graph, it is nearly normal. Only very few values are either going up or are smaller. This is going up, this 2, 3 are going up, and 2, 3 are smaller. So it is very close to the graph itself is indicating it is normal. The distribution is normal. We will test it using one sample KS and Shapiro-Wilks. So we will be doing that. Okay, to confirm that it is normal. And that is the reason why we had saved it. Alright. Normal PP plot. We have some problem here. Okay, that is again this is also evaluating your normality. But since the above curve is giving normal and this is also very close to normal, that all these values should cling. They should be very close to the line. This the regression line. Okay, they are both sides, moving both sides, so they are indicating normal distribution. Now this scatter plot is used to test two things, linearity and homogeneity. Okay, the scatter plot is used to test two things, linearity and homogeneity. Now I will show you how it tests linearity and how it tests homogeneity. If Okay? Then it indicates that the relationship between the two variables is not independent, not linear. Okay? If the scatter plot has a very significant curve, either a significant curve both sides, it could be either side, then it is not linear. And we find that the spread is both sides of the line equal, that type of curve is not there. 2, if there is a funneling effect, then homogeneity is in doubt, homogeneity is suspect. Now, funneling, you need to look at funnel from here. From 0, one line you draw to that, the other line you draw to this. Okay? Now, if you find that the spread of these dots is from one side to the other side is gradual. Okay? From this side of the spread is less, and then you find it is spreading like that. That is funneling. Or from this side the spread is less, and then it is increasing. Then it will look, it will indicate homogeneity is in doubt, homogeneity is suspect. But if you look at both, you draw two lines from zeros, 0 this side, 0 that side. If equal number of dots are this side and that side, homogeneity is okay. And also that one side, that the curve does not become a funnel. Okay, this shows that homogeneity is not a problem for this regression test. I will show you some other place where we are doing, you will find significant funnel indicating that homogeneity is in doubt. In this case, that homogeneity is not in doubt. So that means we have tested a majority of the tests have already been carried out. We have used Durbin-Watson, we have used VIF, we have tested for linearity, we have tested for homogeneity, we have tested for normality also. Normality can also be tested using tests. Let us go to analyze descriptives, explore, and we need to do standardized residuals as dependent. Factors we will not have. Statistics, we want outliers also. Outliers, there will be a list. We will see that. Options. Okay. Plots. Stem and leaf and histogram, both. And normal plots. That's it. Look at this. Normality is not there. Kolmogorov-Smirnov significant at 0.001, and that is the reason why that those lines were there. Yes. Now that normality is suspect. Now it is 0.001 and 0.00. That means both are significant, indicating that it is rejecting both the hypothesis that the test distribution is or variable distribution is normal. It is not. Okay? Now, let us look at this. This is the reason why. Okay? This is the reason why normality is suspect. Now let us see what is the result. What are the results of regression? Sorry. दोनों को it doesn't make a difference. No. See, case-wise diagnostic indicates that there are two main outliers, 53 and 145. Others might be there, but they are the ones which are affecting your regression. So first remove them, 53 and 145. Now, please note 2-3 things. Look at R square. 0.711. It should improve once we remove these outliers. Okay? And your normality should improve. Okay? Let's do that. Analyze, regression, linear, and We need to go to the we need to go to the inputs. And remember these two. What are those? 53 and 145. 53 and 145. So first we will remove 145. 145. Otherwise the numbers will change. And then 53. All right. Let's see now. Analyze, regression, linear. Same values. Okay, it has gone up. Adjusted R square has gone up from 0.711 to 0.725. Now, that linear also, that fit also will become good. Now, let's see if there are any more. There is one more case number 67 that has become now significant. We'll remove that later. First, let us see these charts. Look at this chart. It is more towards linear now. This is still not better. This is also not better. Let us remove that 67 and see. 67. 0.729. Analyze. Go to regression, linear. Okay. And you find this is the new value 0.729. It has gone up again. And let us look at summary. Summary is not there. That means now there are no outliers as far as regression is concerned. And this seems to be now better spread. Okay, the dots have spread now. Is better. That means homogeneity has improved. Okay. Now let us test now the residuals for normality. Analyze, descriptives. We go to explore. Standardized residuals, and same we have selected all earlier only. So 0.002 and just not significant. That means we still have problem. See, that is because of right. Because the standard, the ZR3 has to be used. Analyze, descriptive statistics, explore. Now standardized residuals have to be moved back, and ZR3, this has to be used. Okay. .003 is still not normal. We still have a lot of outliers. Once we remove these outliers, it will automatically become normal. Which are those outliers? Just note down so that we can remove them all together. 382, 395, 382, 305, 162 and 117. And they are all one side. It is also region S, they are all one side. Okay, so starting from 395. So first one removed is 395. Next 382. Three 305. 162. 117. All right, go to analyze, go to regression, go to linear, same. 0.750, 0.751. Significant improvement. The outliers. In this, the case summary is indicating outliers. No. There are. Yeah, there are 4 or 5 outliers. It's okay. You need to remove them till the time you get a perfect normal. And you find this is improving. Every time we are removing, your spread is improving. So let us remove these also. Okay, this is how you do it. You can continue removing till the time you get perfectly normal. Residuals should be normally distributed. Remaining everything has been okay, but only residuals and normality. This is the problem. You can remove that and ensure that the residuals are normally distributed. Okay, when you remove these, you would find, and you've seen that as we have been removing the outliers, your reliability, your regression coefficient has been going up. Okay, it will always go up. It will show better relationship because 1 or 2, respondents who might have given some more responses because of which regression was coming down. So those have been removed. So now relationship automatically improves. All right. Let us go to now. We can close this so that all the clutter that has been accumulated in this. Close this result output window without saving. Okay. Now, in fact, all these also we need to cut. The additionals that we calculated. Okay, we need to keep only, and this service quality 2 also will remove. No, leave it. Alright, so now we have independent variables only. Now we will see multiple regression. And for multiple, I will use linear multiple. Instead of dependent customer satisfaction, I will now have loyalty. Loyalty will become the independent, and all 3 loyalty will become dependent, and all 3 remaining. I am testing the final model. Patient loyalty, it is affected by trust, patient satisfaction, and service quality. Okay, so I am evaluating that relationship. Now you can have stepwise remove backward or forward so that you can see the when the independents are moving in. Okay, when they are going in, right? So right now I will put enter. We will come back to this and put the other options. You find all these would be there. For multiple regression also, plots would be the same. Save, standardized. Options, same. That's it. Regression coefficient adjusted R is 0.676. That means 67. How it is interpreted? 67.6% variance in the dependent variable is explained by all the 3 independent variables. That means there are some other variables that are contributing 32.3% of the variance. That means there are some more variables that those are affecting your customer loyalty. Okay, some of them could be price and other things. Okay, brands that or this clinics that we looked at, this is for clinics, you find there could be other reasons for not being loyal. Maybe disease, specialization is not there. Okay? Now when we are talking about loyalty, we are talking about that whether you are going to take service time and again from the same clinic. So if the clinic doesn't have that specialization, the person will not go. So there are other factors that affect loyalty other than the three that we have taken. But these three are contributing substantially to customer loyalty and therefore our patient loyalty. So if we improve these three, patient loyalty can be improved. Alright. Again, F value is 2. I said, look at the Durbin Watson. 1.960, very close to 2. That means it is almost 0. Okay? Autocorrelation is almost 0. It's very, very little. And ANOVA table indicates 273.277 significant at 0, indicating that this model has good fit. Okay, overall model. Now let's look at the individual variables. What is their relationship or how much they are contributing. One is we need to develop the multiple regression equation. Y is equal to A plus B B1x1 B2x2 B3x3 and plus error. Now in our case, what is Y? Y is loyalty. Patient loyalty is equal to what is A? Minus 2.440 plus what is B1? 0.384 and that is service quality plus 0.094 and that is trust plus 0.068 and that is customer satisfaction or patient satisfaction plus the error term. That would become the equation now. Now, look at the test. For service quality, beta is 0.611. Tested using T value is 9.580. Significant at 0% level of significance. That means service quality is contributing significantly to loyalty. Next is trust. Value of T is 2.177. Significant at 0.30. Again contributing significantly to customer loyalty. Third is customer satisfaction. The T value is 2.072, significant at 0.039. All three are significantly contributing. But as C, maximum contribution is of service quality. Trust has a significant contribution but not as much as service quality, far lesser than service quality, and customer satisfaction also has far lesser than service quality. Now, what are the interpretations, major interpretations of this? What does it indicate for the clinics? See, generally trust on the doctor. Okay, we have this notion that patients go to the same doctor because they have trust on that doctor. Okay, that has not come out very significantly. Two, that customer satisfaction. Okay, satisfied, whether the patient is satisfied with the services provided. That means with what he got. That means the person might have got cured. Satisfaction is with respect to whether the disease that he had is cured. Right? So he might be satisfied with that. But that doesn't mean that would affect his loyalty. His loyalty is dependent on service quality. And who provides service? Not doctors. Doctors provide only 5% of the service or 10% at the most. 90% services are provided by nurses, nursing staff, and the administrative staff. So if a clinic wants to get more patients, what does the clinic need to do? Work on service quality, work on training nurses, training the administrative staff, right? And that, and other modes of providing service, clean clinic, okay, the comfortable rooms or sitting area, number of other issues that come under. We had 3 parts in the service quality. Those 3 parts were, one was infra, that the infra should be good, okay, and infra also includes cleanliness, etc. And then we had, first one was responsiveness, that when the patient goes there, instead of telling him, sit down there, don't get up. What is the problem? क्यों रो रहे हो? क्यों करा रहे हो? मरने वाले हो क्या? These are the normal terms that you listen, when you go to a hospital or a clinic. So these are the things that need to be taken care of by the clinics. Very, very significant outcome. Okay? Look at VIF. And all are below 10. Although they have all gone up from 1 to 4, 3 to 4. And that indicates that as you add independent variables, they might have some relationship, and that would indicate that would be indicated through VIF, and that is, these are the values of VIF, indicating that there is a multicollinearity, but it is within limits. Case 1 summary indicates 2, 15 and 3 to 4 that they are outliers, significant outliers. See this. This is far more closer to normality. Far more closer to normality. Look at this also. This is far more closer to linearity, normality here also. Now this also shows linearity and homogeneity. So as soon as we are doing it with loyalty, okay, dependent variable has become loyalty now, you find that everything has come in line. All are far better than what we had with service quality. Okay, now if you want to test for normality, go to descriptive, explore, and standardize residuals, dependent variable, statistics, outliers, okay, it is selected, okay. .002, .003. It is still not normal. It is still not showing normal. Tau, yes. Look at this. It is not normal yet. Okay, it is skewed to the right. There is a skewness, and those 2 outliers must be to the right side. Tau QQ plot has improved. These many are the outliers, so you need to remove them. Then only, and all of them are lower side. Upper side is 1 and lower side are these. Alright. So we have seen simple regression, multiple regression, and you can improve by removing the outliers. You find results would definitely improve, and whenever, as soon as you removed all the outliers, they will definitely become normal. Alright? So try in your own time so that you get the practice, and if you still have problem with the data, if you are still not able to get it, you are not able to meet the requirements, just talk to me, I will help you. Yes? From regression between the regression between them, you need to only look at the model. You need to have regression between trust. You can't, you just don't apply regression. You need to have conceptual relationships. Okay, which concept is contributing to which? That means now trust and service quality would contribute to patient satisfaction. Okay, we looked at earlier whether service quality was contributing to patient satisfaction. That we looked at. Okay. Similarly, you can have patient satisfaction as the dependent variable and trust and service quality as independent variables and see their relationship. Also, another relationship can be checked with trust as the dependent variable and service quality as the independent variable. Okay? So these two can also be tested and their regression values can be computed. Okay? They can be done. Now, we've seen this. Look at the mediation, how to test. The patient satisfaction is acting as a mediator here. Okay? Both for service quality and trust. See, we have seen that the service quality is not affecting. Okay? No, service quality is affected. Patient satisfaction was not affected. So maybe that is because it is only a mediating variable, so it may not be affecting that much. So we will see what is the effect of mediating effect of patient satisfaction on one of them, and the other one you can compute in your own. Right? I will show you for one. Say mediating effect of patient satisfaction on service quality. Right? The relationship between service quality and patient loyalty, how they are mediated through the patient satisfaction. Okay? How service quality and patient loyalty, their relationship is mediated by the patient satisfaction. Now I will show you, when the whole model is there, you miss out on the mediation effect. Now see, what is happening? Patient satisfaction has become a direct mediator now. Alright? So when we were looking at the whole model, we were not able to see this. Now we can see it. Okay? Now, this regression will be B when you are taking you are looking at the multiple regression. B with multiple regression are not simple. So A, B, and here we will have SA, standard error of A, and here we will have SB, standard error of B. So we will need these two values to compute interaction. Alright. So we will need to compute the regression coefficient between service quality and patient satisfaction. We need to compute B, that would be patient satisfaction and patient loyalty, and service quality and patient loyalty. That means two independent variables, patient satisfaction and service quality, and patient loyalty as a dependent variable. And we will be looking at only B of this, that means patient satisfaction and patient loyalty. And then use a formula to evaluate the interaction effect or the mediation effect. Now I will show you the formula. There are three models that are evaluating mediation effect. I will show you the formula for all three, and then we will see how to apply that. Mediation के दिख रहा है इसमें? Yeah. These are the three. Okay. Sobel, Aryan, and Goodman. These three people actually developed the formula, and you find formula is almost same. A, that is regression coefficient between independent variable and mediator, multiplied by B. B is the the regression coefficient between mediator and dependent variable with independent variable as another variable as independent variable. Okay, and divided by square root of b square multiplied by, this is standard error. This is a formula of standard error. B square SA square plus A square SB square. Now this is what is called square of standard error. And square of standard error has to be square rooted so that we get standard error. So this will result into standard error. This will result into tau 1 minus tau 2. That means this is equal to a t. Okay, that means in t, what do we do? Okay, mean 1 minus mean 2 divided by standard error. Okay, same way in this, instead of minus, we are multiplying, but similar to t, and interpretation will also be similar to. In fact, interpretation will be in terms of t. It will be calculating z or t. You can calculate z or t using this. Now let us see for our model. We have calculated some of them, and some we might not have calculated, so we will do that. Otherwise, we need to first see the effect on loyalty of service quality, and the other two we will remove, so that we can get to A and SA. Two we will get through this. Okay? Okay. Now A in this is 0.513. A has to be read from the coefficients table. Okay, what is A in this? That is this. Service quality effect unstandardized 0.513. So A is 0.513. What is standard error A? 0.018. 0.018. We've got these two. We need to get the other two. Okay? Go to analyze, go to regression, go to linear. Now, with service quality, we will have to take mediator, and that is satisfaction, customer satisfaction. Okay? Again. And B will be the effect of customer satisfaction on dependent variable, and that is 0.092. B is equal to this, equal to 0.092. And what is SB? SB is 0.031. Okay, now we have got A 0.513, SA 0.018, B 0.098, and SB 0.031. Now, there are two ways of calculating. One is this, all these calculators are already available on net. So just feed these values, you will get the value of t. Or second way of doing it is calculate. For our case, we will have to calculate. Okay, formula use this. Z is equal to Sobel ka le leं, A multiplied by B divided by A square. A square multiplied by SB square plus B square multiplied by SA square under root. That is the formula. Okay? A square SB square plus B square SA square under root. Isn't it? This is the formula. Where? B square. वो बाहर आ गया ना? हाँ वो कोई बात नहीं. It doesn't make a difference whether B square SA square is before or after. it doesn't make a difference. There is addition between them. That's it. Okay, what is A? 0.513 multiplied by B, 0.098 divided by under root of A square. That means 0.513 squared multiplied by SB. SB is 0.031 squared plus B squared 0.098 squared multiplied by SA squared 0.018 squared. Now this is equal to Z or T, it doesn't make a difference. Now you need to work out this.
Sir, comparing with this values, ABS,
A
ABA, SA, SBA values आपने
कहां
कहाँ से लिया?
से लिया? ये यहां से लिया उसमें। ओ गॉड, आप फिर वापस लेंगे कि मुझे पूरा घुमाना पड़ेगा? See, we carried out two regressions. That I feel you're sleeping. All right. Now you are awake. So let me tell you now. See, I carried out two regressions. One was service quality with dependent variable customer loyalty. And under column D, I picked up in front of service quality, under B, it was 513. That is A. Okay? Regression coefficient under B, 4 service quality having loyalty as a dependent variable. And next column has error, standard error. So I picked up SB from there, SA from there. A and SA. Two came from simple linear regression. Then I applied multiple regression with service quality as one of the independents with moderator as another independent. Moderator was customer satisfaction and dependent variable was the same, customer loyalty. Okay? And B I found, okay, relationship between the patient satisfaction, patient loyalty. Okay? And I had also used this, but I did not use, this was also one of the independent variables, but I did not need to use it. Only I needed B and SB. SB is standard error, SB is here. B has been taken from here, SB from here. And A and SA were from simple linear regression. Okay? हो गया, दोनों मिल गए. उसके बाद में ये पॉइंट में तो नहीं सवाल है, ज्यादा बस है. ये स्क्वायर है ना, 0.098 स्क्वायर है, 0.018 स्क्वायर है. ये तो बहुत कम हो जाएगा. एंड उसका स्क्वायर रूट लेंगे. स्क्वायर रूट लेने में होगा 0.0%. That means the moderation effect is not significant. If your Z is not significant, that means the moderation effect is not significant. That means your patient satisfaction is not affecting the effect of, or not moderating the effect of service quality. Now, it is visible also. If you look at the effect of service quality on the loyalty, you find it is very high. And effect of patient satisfaction on patient loyalty is very low. Right? So that means this is the service quality is not affecting patient loyalty through patient satisfaction. Majority of the service quality effect is going only through this direct route, and therefore that moderation effect is not significant. Okay? It was likely to be not significant. It is. So it is coming 0.0 something. So that is far smaller than significance. Alright? So this is how you can compute the moderation effect. Whether the variable is moderating the effect of the other variable. Now, we've done till here.